So it's been a little while. I had a couple things going on. I was gone for work for a little while, and then I got married last week. So got married, and then we spent like a week somewhere. So I'm home now. Got the hood put back on yesterday. I did change up the intake setup a little bit. So I just did this setup here so I can actually get the hood on. The fan does affect the MAF intake a little bit, so it's kind of a little goofy, but the hood closes. I do plan to go to an electric fan later on, so I'm just gonna drive it like this for now. You notice something is missing from the garage. I got rid of that white truck, so that's gone, and I just renewed the registration on this thing. It's August now, and it expired in April, so it's been expired for 4 months. Haven't been driving it, but now I'm gonna start driving it, so that's good. Got it on the battery charger because while I was gone for the wedding and stuff, I didn't drive the thing for a couple weeks and the battery ended up dying. So before I swapped the engine, it did have a parasitic drain that I haven't been able to figure out yet, so that's probably what that was. I don't think it had anything to do with the swap because it was happening before I did the swap. So right now I'm just going to take us for a little ride, go check it out, have a little fun. Alright, let's go. I'm starting to see like exhaust soot or whatever you want to call it on the head coming out where it's leaking. So I feel pretty good about that it's an exhaust leak. I did crank that header on pretty freaking tight, and it's still leaking. So it's not getting any better, even though there's a new gasket on it. So I don't know if it's something wrong with the header or what, but I don't think it's the engine, so that's good. Alright, so I think the coolest thing is I got windshield wipers. That's pretty nice. I'm going to take it on the highway. So I am going to start to head home. It's wet and I got stuff in the bed of the truck. And I also don't have the caps on my wheel bearings that I was going to make because I took the four-wheel drive CV joints out. Oh! Little fishtail there. Probably shouldn't have done that with 100 people around me, but it's wet. Overall, I'm pretty happy. Over the last couple days, I've probably driven it for I don't know, close to 2 hours with the hood on it. And I'm not seeing any overheating issues or anything weird going on with the possible overheating. I still have the V6 radiator in there and it's working really well. It's just a stock thermostat also, so I didn't have to get a 165 thermostat or anything. It's just stock thermostat. It's a stock thermostat. So I'm happy about that. I thought it was going to overheat a little bit with the hood on it, so I drove it for like 45 minutes, hour yesterday, and I was doing some wide open throttle pulls, and it was revving up to like 6,000 a couple times, and brought it back home, checked the head temp, let it sit in idle in the driveway for like 10 minutes, and it was nice and cool. The head temp only got up to like 197 again, so that's pretty good. So I'm happy about that. I do want to put a electric fan on it though and get rid of the clutch fan that's on there so I can put a different intake on it, because I think the fan is messing with the MAF right now. A real-time head temp check. 191, 196. It's usually at like 197-ish. So that's after I just got done driving it kind of hard and took it on the highway and everything. So I don't think it's really gonna have too many issues. And I think the scale is probably just off a little bit on the gauge. Like they're not really that compatible. This is the hottest that it's gotten so far. So, and that's, I feel, is a pretty good spot for temperature, so I'd be able to reference it off that. If it gets much hotter than that, then I'd start to worry about it. But it does go up, and it takes a while to get to this spot. This spot's after I've been driving it pretty hard for a while. It'll get about that hot, but gauge is working pretty decent. It's not right in the center, but I don't really need it there. I'm going to chuck this thing back on the charger for a little bit. Try to get that battery topped off. And then I'll just have to be sure to drive it more. I'm not sure if I showed this yet in a previous video, but I did do all the loom back on the wiring, so all the wiring is covered now. Pretty much how it's going to be. And the hood closes really nice. Everything works pretty slick. So, like I said, want to get a different fan, take this thing off. I do have a 90 to put on here. And then I should be able to bring this over to this section, so that should work pretty good. But everything's on, hood closes, everything clears. It doesn't hit anything up here, so happy with that. I did say I did get married, so I wanted to show you guys something kind of cool. I wanted to show you my wedding ring. So this is my ring. I don't know if it probably looks a little familiar to some of you guys. It's a nut, and you may have seen something like this on YouTube. Just a stainless steel nut. So she took a belt sander to it, took down the edges, took a Dremel to the inside, sanded it a little bit, left it kind of rough. I wanted it a little bit rough because I'm just going to beat it up anyways. I think it's a little bit more my style. This is $1.37, but it means a lot. So nice and cheap, just what I like. So you wanted me to explain all the work that went into the ring. I made it sound a little bit too easy in the previous clip. So see that there's actually two rings here. There's a bigger nut and a smaller nut. This one's kind of roughed up. This is the one she did all the practicing on. So she used, it wasn't just a belt sander and a Dremel. She used a grinder. She used a manual file for quite a while. There's a lot of work that went into this thing. There's a big nut and a small nut. Ended up going with a small nut because she's used to me not really having big nuts anyways, so that worked out pretty well. This one's kind of cool because you can still see the threading on the inside of the ring, so that would have been a nice feature. But hey, when I get fat someday, because she's gonna fatten me up, I hope someday, then this thing will work. But for now, this one's pretty good. But yeah, there was a lot of time that went into this thing. She spent, I don't know, a couple weeks working on it, trying to get it right. But this was the practice ring. So everything that was done on this one was done on this one later on and finalized, but everything that was testing and experimental was done on this ring first. Yeah. I think the only other thing I wanted to mention was the nuts that I put on the exhaust clamps. So there was another YouTuber who told me that I should probably do that, which was a good idea. And the first time I took it for a drive, the exhaust clamp loosened up and the muffler kind of twisted down, so I'll show you the exhaust clamps that I put on. So these are those nuts, basically just a jam nut that I put on there. I did get 4 nuts, so I'll probably put an extra two jam nuts on each side just so they don't loosen up at all. That should help. That's an M8 by 1.25 in case anyone's looking for the thread size on a 2.5-inch V-band clamp, but that should help. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the video. Did you like the burnouts? Do you like the driving around in the truck? Do you want to see more of that? Do you want to see more of possibly outside of the truck with driving? I could try to figure that out somehow. Also, I've been thinking a little bit about the turbo setup, but I would like to do at least like a track run and a dyno run to get kind of like baseline numbers. Because I don't really like testing stuff until you have a baseline number. So what do you guys think about that? I did find a place locally that I could do a dyno run, a couple of runs on, but it's like $85. So I don't really know if I want to spend the 85 bucks just to get a baseline number. So let me know what you guys think about that. And let me know what you think about the turbo. What kind of turbo do you think I should get? What size? How big? What should the horsepower goal be? Let me know what you think. Also, I've been thinking, because I've been trying to keep this kind of a budget build, I do have a full, like almost complete airbag kit, like an air ride kit that I was going to do with the Nissan. So I'm thinking about selling that and doing the turbo kit instead of the airbag kit. So maybe I just lower this and do a static drop if I'm going for like a speed thing with this. Maybe I don't want the air ride on it. So maybe I'll sell that kit and then do a turbo kit. Let me know what you think of that. That's an option. And last but not least, the stereo, because I know a lot of you are here originally because of the stereo stuff that I was doing. So I do want to put a stereo in here. I do have 3 Digital Designs 12s. That's my plan for the build. I'm probably going to stay with the audio pipe amps because those things are great for the cost. So I do have a design for a wall actually for 312s that I want to try out. It'd be a high ratio 4th order with 312s. So what do you think? Just a normal street box below the window line 312s, or do the 4th order wall with the 412s? I had pretty good luck with the 4th orders, so maybe that'd be a good option. But maybe I should try my luck with just a regular street box. It'd be a lot less weight. Kind of stick around with the speed thing. Maybe I'd have like a, I don't know, a speed goal with a stereo. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, leave a comment. Any suggestions, any ideas. Love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching.